Hi everybody, it's Mindi Miller here with the one and only Mr. Bill Dobbins. We are at the Artist Corner Gallery here in Hollywood, across from Hollywood High School, and we are having the most incredible time. Bill Dobbins is the most incredible artist. Now, I want to tell you, first of all, these are his photographs. This is 8 times Miss Olympia, Linda Murphy, is that right? Linda Murray, who we just saw, and hopefully she'll be here in a minute, we can interview her. But Bill Dobbins and I have known each other, what do you think, Bill? 30 years, 40 years?
Since the early 80s.
Oh, at least since the early 80s. Bill, when I was bodybuilding and doing karate, Bill did a fantastic article on me for Muscle and Fitness for Joe Weider, and it was probably 6 to 8 pages of an interview and lifting weights in Gold's Gym. And you were just beginning, as I recall, to start doing a little bit of fashion modeling, and he asked me if I would be one of his first models. Do you remember that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you and I went out with a copy of a book by Jeff Dunas called Captured Women.
That's right, I forgot that.
And I used that as art director sketches.
Okay.
And talk about coming full circle, I just interviewed Jeff this week for my blogs at Sammy's Camera.
Really?
So I've just been in touch with him as yesterday.
And how is he doing?
He's fantastic. He's the director of the Palm Springs Photo Festival.
Now, will you be at that?
Not sure yet.
Okay. Bill has been in, how many years would you say that you have been photographing these incredible muscle women?
Well, they came along in the late 70s, and I did my first photos of them then. And then Joe Weider made me founding editor of Flex magazine.
Right.
At that point, I could assign myself anything. So I saw this as a wonderful new opportunity to do photographs, something new to the culture, and so I was the first one to start focusing on them.
You, I believe, were the first photographer to really take women as a whole as a feminine physique and mystique and combine that with the new musculature of the bodybuilders, because if I recall in those days, the bodybuilding, they did not know at that time how to go and how to judge. They weren't, we had Rachel McLish, we had Lisa Lyon, who was the first, and Rachel was muscular but very long and sinewy, and then Bev Francis came along, who was extremely muscular, and at that time I don't think they knew how they were going to judge the women.
Well, in the beginning there was no track record, there was no tradition. The women themselves in the very early years were mostly muscularity from dieting. They didn't have much size, and it took 10 or 15 years before you got to people that looked like Linda Murray. And Linda's probably the first that looked like a truly modern bodybuilder with both size and aesthetics.
Right. Now, I want you to tell everybody viewing, because this will be on my YouTube channel and all over Facebook and Instagram and all that. Who are these beautiful women, and when did you photograph them? Who is the first one here on the top?
Well, that's Joanne Lee, who was number 5 in the world, and it's also Joanne Lee, who's is to you in this photo.
Okay, so this is also Joanna right here. Which one is Joanna? So this is Joanna. Come on over here.
This was shot.
Come over to the camera.
Sorry. This was shot to show mass and power. The photo above me was done to show it as an anatomy lesson, to show the detail and muscularity. Okay. So it shows you the difference between how you set about to photograph something.
And what can you tell us about Linda here in the middle? She won 8 times Miss Olympia, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. And when she first came on the scene, a friend of mine told me about her and said she's really going to be
big.
She's going to be Miss Olympia.
Yeah. But now I think she won even more Miss Olympias than Rachel McLish, didn't she?
Well, yes, Rachel only won a couple, but again, by the time that Linda came along, the sport had matured. The women were all pretty well developed, and so there was a consistency in the lineup that there hadn't been in earlier years.
Okay.
But anyway, I did an article on Linda called "The Shape of Things to Come," and she put that up in her gym in Michigan, and she said it inspired her to believe that she could win Miss Olympia on her first try, and she did.
She did. I'm not sure how much time we have left. We have a couple of minutes left? Couple of minutes. I quickly want to ask you, Bill, what got you into wanting to shoot muscular women and show that feminine form in a very different light?
Well, I was already a fan of bodybuilding.
Right.
The women came along, so I was a fan of theirs.
Yeah.
But I realized that, for instance, Charles Gaines, the author of Pumping Iron,
Yes.
said that these women are a new archetype, something that's never before been seen any place or time in history. And I realized it was just an amazing opportunity to find a new subject, one that not only had all this aesthetic potential, but had such cultural significance about the female body, femininity, sexuality, gender identity.
Yes.
All of these things are brought up by these women, and so I was just the right place, the right time.
Now, tell all of our home viewers, where can they find your pictures if they want to buy some? Where can they find you online? Do you have websites and all of that? Tell us where we can find you.
Well, my website that features these women is BillDobbins.com. Okay.
Your name, BillDobbins.com, and
I have a Facebook group page called Photos of Fit and Fabulous Females.
and I am a member, and they are incredible. I look at them every day when you're posting.
Well, I invite other people to post photos too. And as far as buying my photos, now that I'm represented by a gallery, they're the ones that sell my photos.
We are here with none other than the Mr. Bill Dobbins, the one and only founder of this particular kind of art and photography, and he has been incredible. Again, he's been my friend for almost, 35, 40 years, and I want to thank you so much, Bill, for joining us here and having us come to your incredible opening. And look for him, because he's going to be having another gallery opening in July with even more of his incredible species of women that have never been seen before, and this is something very, very different. And I am so proud to know you all these years, and it's so good to see you. And I want to thank you so much for allowing us to do this interview.
Pleased to have you here.
God bless you. Bill Dobbins, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.